My dear sisters and brothers in Jesus Christ, every year on 6th October, the Church celebrates the feast of Saint Bruno. Saint Bruno is one of the most influential saints, known for his shy and humble nature. Saint Bruno was born in Cologne, Germany, to distinguished parents. From early childhood, he lived a life of sincerity and holiness. He always wanted to dedicate himself to the Lord and become a priest. He was ordained at the age of 25 and dedicated his life to the educational institutions of the diocese. His entire life was dedicated to the teaching in schools. In 1075, he was made the Vice Chancellor and Canon Theologian of the diocese. Saint Bruno wanted to go to the monastery and dedicate his life in solitary prayer. Therefore, after many years of priesthood, he decided to live a life in prayer, manual work, and study of the scriptures. While he was in the monastery, he wrote several commentaries on Psalms and letters of Saint Paul. While he was in the monastery, he was called by the Pope to become a bishop and the personal advisor and confessor. During the time the church was undergoing reform, and the Pope invited Saint Bruno to come and become his personal advisor. Saint Bruno initially was not so happy, but he accepted and went to become the personal advisor of the Pope. Saint Bruno lived a life of poverty, mortification, and silence in the monastery. Saint Bruno repeatedly told the Pope that he would like to go back and spend time in prayer. Saint Bruno founded the Carthusian order of monks, and his order grew in Europe and many other places in the world. Saint Bruno died on October 6, 1101. He was never officially canonized by the Pope, but Pope Leo X granted that his feast be celebrated on October 6th. The reason that he was never canonized was because Carthusian monks are averse to all forms of publicity. The life of Saint Bruno was a life of holiness and humility. He spent most of his time for the teaching of the schools, for the reform of the clergy, and in prayer, labor, and study of the scriptures. His life was an exemplary life lived in the devotion of our Lord. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, let us take inspiration from Saint Bruno and intercede through him that we too spend our life in holiness and humility,